Hey, everybody, welcome back to Deserts of Plenty. My name is Ralph. Um, the great investment guru Charlie Munger, who passed away recently, not that long ago, had a very fascinating question that he posed. And this question was this: it's like, would you rather be the greatest lover in the world, but nobody knows it? Nobody knows about it. You know, you are, but nobody can know it. Everybody thinks that you're terrible. Or would you rather be a terrible lover and never have sex, maybe even never have sex, a lover, but everybody believes that you are the greatest lover in the world? Like, which would you prefer? Uh, for me, that the answer to that is obvious now. But in my 20s, I might have chosen differently. I might have wanted to be perceived that way rather than be. And it's interesting how our values change as we age and how we become different people than we used to be. But the core question that he asks is a good one, I think. It's, is it better to be something or to be perceived as being something by other people? You know, do you actually want to be generous, or do you just like people to know you're generous? It's interesting, like even people who give anonymously, they're not really anonymous to their friends in their circle. There's a quote, I can't remember who said it, and that quote was, "I know many anonymous donors," because people, they want to be, they like to help, but they like to be seen as helping. So, do you actually want to help people or just have the reputation of helping? Do you want to actually take action to save the planet, or do you just want people to think that you are a good person, when it comes to reducing your carbon footprint? Like, which are you actually doing? And we know, like, from all kinds of studies on people that, people are often very willing to do the right thing, but less so if nobody knows about it. And so I think it's really a good question to ask ourselves as every time we do something, take a stand, sign a petition, give people advice. It's good to check in with your motivation and why am I doing this? Is it because I actually believe this is the right thing to do? Oh, hey, everyone, you should read Atomic Habits. Do I really think that? Or do I want to, give advice and ask people to read Atomic Habits because, oh, they'll think highly of me, right? Or I get a little thrill when I give advice and people take it. Whenever anybody gives me advice, which isn't so frequently anymore, um, I'm always asking myself, why are you doing this? What's in it for you? Uh, It's very true that human beings have the two sides. There's the public and our private selves. Like, in our public persona is very aspirational. We know from experiments, psychological experiments, that people behave very differently when no one is watching. Even putting like a picture of an eye, like a human eyeball, a human eye in a break room will cut down on people cheating or stealing. They experiments where they in a break room where they'll leave out stuff that seems like it's free, sodas or whatever, but they'll put a picture up of an eye, or they'll ask like, oh, donate to this cause, and they'll put a box up with money and then they'll put an eye there. And if there's an eye there, just a picture of the eye will cause people to give more. And we know that's why when people come up to you on the street asking for money for a cause, they come in pairs, because if there's someone there watching, you're more likely to give, or people will, on the aggregate, give more money. So public behavior often reflects, our aspirations, our image, our identity, the people that we want to be seen at. Whereas private behavior reflects the actual preference. I always love the Netflix example, um, because on Netflix, they used to have this rating system, and people would always say, like, oh, yes, of course, users claim to love documentaries, foreign films, and other prestige content. But what they actually wanted to watch was Adam Sandler movies, reality TV, true crime, more like quote unquote garbage TV, or that kind of thing. And so this mismatch was one reason why Netflix moved away from the 5-star rating system towards a more thumbs up, thumb down, because the 5-star ratings reflected aspirations of what people wanted to watch and not actual behavior. So they kept saying, they would rate this, quote unquote serious content highly, but nobody watched it, or they didn't watch it as much. Whereas they rated the lowbrow content lower, but that's what they really wanted to watch. So Netflix had to abandon that system. And they had to find a way to get at what people really wanted so they can recommend what people really wanted to see. And there's to me, a perfect example of this split between who we want to be, who we want to be perceived as being, and who we actually are. And again, I forget the quote, but it's like, if you want to be miserable, just expect more from other people than you expect from yourself. I think that's, I think it's hard to be, and I'm not to be, your aspirational self, to actually live that. And I'm not saying that I do it. I hope I do it. I'm sure I don't. I'm sure there are, like all of us, I have blind spots and things I don't see, but I'm trying. Um, but I do think that many of us act in a way that is reflective on how we want to be perceived, right? Oh, I will. A friend of mine wrote this really great joke. And it was, and the joke was, they were on their phone and they're like, oh, there's that earthquake in undisclosed country. Will you donate, $20 to help the people? And they were like, no, but I will share the link. And I thought that was such an insightful joke because that it is about people, right? Here, oh, I'll do, this is I'm helping, I'm doing something, right? It gives us, the feeling of like, I am doing something, like a lot of these performative things. So uh, I think for this, it's just good to be, I think, always questioning ourselves, right? To find those hidden biases and things that we have, right? So yeah, so when you do things, what am I doing this for? What's going on? Like things like, when you get angry too, same thing. Why am I getting angry? Why does this thing trigger me? It's always good to keep your mind open and look for your blind spots. Anyway, that's my time for today. Thank you very much. Just let's with this question, do you want to be a thing or be seen as a thing? All right. Have a good day. Take care, everybody. Bye.